Now to Decision 2023 this morning. The race for Wisconsin Supreme Court had all eyes on it here in the state and really around the nation. Margaret Cahill was in Milwaukee when the numbers came down, and she shares how Janet Protasiewicz will now be the state's next Supreme Court justice.
I'm Margaret Cahill here at Judge Janet Protasiewicz election night watch party at the St. Kate Hotel in Milwaukee. Protasiewicz's race was called less than an hour after polls closed, and the crowd immediately erupted in cheers, hugging, and just overall celebrating. Protasiewicz then shortly took the podium to address the crowd.
Our state is taking a step forward to a better and brighter future where our rights and freedoms will be protected. And while there is still work to be done, tonight we celebrate this historic victory that has obviously reignited hope in so many of us.
This race garnered national attention with record spending. WisPolitics.com reported $42 million of spending, the most of any state Supreme Court race in history. While the race is technically nonpartisan, the reality is far from that. Protasiewicz was supported by the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, and her opponent, Dan Kelly, was supported by GOP-affiliated groups. Protasiewicz will likely be a deciding vote in cases pertaining to abortion, voting rights, and redistricting. In Milwaukee, I'm Margaret Cahill, NBC 26.
Following her win, as Margaret said, abortion advocates are celebrating a major victory here in Wisconsin. Liberals now have a majority control over the state's highest court for the first time in 15 years. They are expected to rule on a lawsuit challenging the state's abortion ban. And Dan Kelly, Protasiewicz's challenger, took to the stage at his watch party in Green Lake and thanked his supporters. He also took the opportunity to take a couple shots at Protasiewicz. His speech was just shy of 7 minutes, and he called the race the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign he's ever seen for the courts.
And it brings me no joy to say this. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
And Kelly ramps up on a deeply negative note, saying he's fearful of politics rising above the rule of the law on the courts. He said it doesn't end well for Wisconsin, and he wished the state good luck. Well, now to the Green Bay mayor's race, where incumbent Eric Genrich has been elected to a second term. Genrich defeated Chad Weininger by 6 points. Your Green Bay neighborhood reporter Tyler Jobe spoke with the mayor following his victory.
Well, as you can imagine, loud cheers broke out once everyone here at Gather on Broadway found out that incumbent Eric Genrich was elected to a second term as Green Bay mayor. Soon after the results, Genrich arrived receiving hugs and handshakes from his campaign manager and other supporters. Genrich gave a speech to the crowd thanking them and reminded them of his focuses for the city, including infrastructure, public safety, community development, and inclusivity.
It's really about opening up doors for everyone in this community to thrive and to succeed. That's been my intention since day one. That's how I've tried to lead this community, and that's what I'm going to do for all of you for the next 4 years.
Now, Genrich during the primary was second in voting, 87 as a matter of fact, behind Weininger. Genrich told reporters he thinks preserving money throughout the primary helped push him over the top for the April election.
You know, we knew that we didn't have to spend a lot of money to get through that primary, and so we conserved our resources and spent them here in the general. So, you know, that was kind of a tactical decision that we were sort of willing to come up a little bit short, understanding that the primary isn't really worth a whole heck of a lot if you don't win the general.
Now, Genrich says that soon after the results came in, Chad Weininger gave him a call, and he says that Genrich thanked Weininger for running in this election. In Green Bay, Tyler Jobe, NBC 26.
And Genrich's opponent, Chad Weininger, spoke at his watch party about the voters here in Green Bay, and here's what he had to say.
Tonight is really not about me. It's really about you. It's about your passion to wanting to get Green Bay back on track. So I want to say thank you for all your hard work, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
And now to the race for Outagamie County Executive. The position became Tom Nelson's for a 4th consecutive term. Olivia Acree has the latest on Nelson's victory.
I'm NBC 26 reporter Olivia Acree, and I am standing in the Outagamie County building, home of the Outagamie County Executive Office, that has just become Tom Nelson's for the 4th consecutive term in a row. As I followed this race, Nelson continuously said that he was looking forward to voters having a choice. And today they chose Nelson yet again. We spoke to him right after his victory, and here's what he had to say.
We'll continue to do the great work that we've done for Outagamie County. We've got a bright and prosperous future, and it's very exciting and honored to have the voters' support again.
He also told us that he's humbled by this victory and is looking forward to serving Outagamie County for another term. In Appleton, Olivia Akery, NBC 26.
All right, thank you, Olivia. And the people of Oshkosh are waking up with a new mayor after Matt Mugerauer won the job last night. Seth Hubenik was there and spoke with the new mayor about what he plans moving forward.
This morning, Oshkosh has a new mayor as voters chose Matt Mugerauer to be their city's new leader. Mugerauer had previously served as the deputy mayor for Lori Palmieri, who is leaving the mayor's seat to take a position in the state assembly. I caught up with Mugerauer last night, and he thanked voters for choosing him and said the new position won't change the way he leads.
Well, honestly, it'll be boring, same old Matt. Consistent, some common sense, and a reasonable and responsible voice as mayor. The exact same thing I've done the last 5 years, and this is about keeping Oshkosh moving forward, and that's exactly what we're going to keep trying to do.
I spoke with Mugerauer's opponent, Aaron Wojciechowski, last night, and he said he's disappointed in the loss, but told me he thinks Mugerauer will do a good job and says he can rest easy, knowing that the city is in good hands. Mugerauer is set to take office at noon on the 18th here at Oshkosh City Hall. In Oshkosh, Seth Hubenik, NBC 26.
Thank you, Seth. And circling back to the biggest race across the state, Janet Protasewicz defeats Dan Kelly in the Supreme Court race here, 55.5% to 44.5% right here at this point. But as you can see across the entire state, many people voted very differently. In some of these more rural counties, we see more red in support of Dan Kelly. But in the larger metro areas, we have Milwaukee over there into Madison, more people showing their support for Janet Protasewicz. Now, that was the case in the Green Bay area here as well. We're going to take a closer look at Northeast Wisconsin to see how people in our region are casting their ballots for this race. A very close one here if you take a look at Brown County. Look at that number, 51.6% to 48.4%, only 2,500 vote difference there when it came to voting in favor of Protasewicz versus Dan Kelly. A similar trend over there in Outagamie County, nearly 1,600 points of a difference there. But if you head just a little bit farther south into Calumet County in areas like Manitowoc County, more people showing their supports in favor of Dan Kelly and a larger margin there as well. And moving on to state referendum number 1, we're going to zoom out here to give you a closer look that the entire state did vote in favor of this here as well, not just the Manitowoc County area. 66.6% of people in Wisconsin voting yes in favor of defining conditions of release. Now, this will have a direct impact on suspects when they are in custody of defining serious bodily harm, so that will make an impact on the state's constitution moving forward. Now, take a look at state referendum number 2. I want you to take a peek here at the yes and no numbers here as well. They don't change all that much, so the majority of Wisconsinites are voting in favor of the cash bail consideration there as well. So amendments will be made to the state's constitution when it comes to the referendum number 1 and 2 that was there on the ballot. Moving on to state referendum number 3 that was on the ballot, as you can see, an overwhelming number of people showing their support that they support a welfare benefit requirement when it comes to single able-bodied adults applying for unemployment benefits as well, and then looking for work while they are on benefits. So that comes down to, again, single able-bodied people without kids applying for unemployment benefits altogether there. Again, this is an advisory referendum, so this will not have a direct impact on the state's constitution at this point. This will likely be something that lawmakers in coming elections will be discussing moving forward there. Again, even though nearly 80% of Wisconsin voters did cast their ballots in favor of this referendum, no changes will likely happen right now at this point. But again, the biggest story here for the night was the big win between Janet Protasewicz against Dan Kelly. 55.5% against Dan Kelly, 44.5%, nearly 200,000 votes here at this point. Of course, if you do want to take a closer look at the numbers in your region to see how people were casting their ballots in this race, you can visit our website at NBC26.com. We have all of the results over there. Well, still to come on NBC 26 today, we're going to have more of your election results. But first, here's Cam with weather.
All right, we had some showers and thunderstorms across the area last night. We still have a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm throughout the morning or very early afternoon ahead of a cold front. Also ahead of that cold front, a quick little warm up. Temperatures zipping up into the 50s, 60s, close to 70, depending on how much sunshine we see. Then a cold front moves through behind that cold front, turning sharply colder as we make our way through the afternoon. Temperatures falling through the 40s and then the 30s, winds gusting over 40 miles per hour, so wind chills will make it feel even colder. And then colder weather the next couple of days, below normal highs in the 40s. Looks like some snow early Saturday, especially north and west of Green Bay, and then a dramatic warm up for Easter Sunday and as we head into next week.